Hey, everybody, can you be quiet? Say all your hellos later. It's so exciting to be back, and you all have to be quiet now. Simmer down. Hey, New Yorkers, sit down. The show is starting. Let's go. You know, I have a great joke about the difference between New Yorkers and Canadians, but I can't really say it because we're live streaming this. But it goes something like this. How do you get 100 New Yorkers to get out of the pool? Get the out. How do you get 100 Canadians out of the pool? Just ask. Now I have your attention. Welcome, everybody. Is that my mic thing? Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for being here. This is incredible. What an incredible moment. Since this, we're still talking, Jesus. I'm gonna have to have my own show on New York Public Radio about manners. It'll be called Miss New York Manners. Okay, you ready? You said hello? Great. So good evening, everyone. I want to start by saying what a thrill it is to be here, and obviously it's a thrill for all of you too, because you can't shut up. So, welcome. I actually am something of a super fan. So all day today I've been saying to myself, long-time listener, first-time host. But there's also actually something incredibly magic about being up here on stage tonight. It's the magic that I used to feel when I was in a play. It's the magic that drew me into acting that first night I was ever on a stage. And it is hard to believe that it is the first time I've been on a stage since March 2020. So, and it's actually also the first time I've ever been marched out with a marching band, which was great. And the first time I ever told a really bad joke to get you all to be quiet. So it's a night of firsts for me. But really, I've really missed this magic, and I think all of us have. It feels so incredible to be here, and a little strange, and even new again. But it's especially meaningful to be here with all of you, the supporters and the staff of New York Public Radio. I hope that everyone at New York Public Radio knows how much you do to make my life, and I'm sure everybody else's life in this room, more meaningful. So we are so grateful that you exist and that we are here to support you. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you for being here, and thank you for your generosity. We can't do it without you, and we all know that. So yeah, applaud yourselves, for sure. So we have an incredible, incredible evening tonight, and in just a few minutes we're going to hear a performance from the WQXR Artist Propulsion Lab, and later on a performance by the incomparable Kishi Bashi. Yeah, go ahead, applaud that. I mean, live music, doesn't it feel good? It's so good. We'll hear from a lot of Radiolab friends and family, including a few folks you actually may not know that are related. Stay tuned. And of course, there are always a few surprises up our sleeves, and I'll be back later in the evening. But for now, it is my pleasure to hand things over to a guy about whom so much is going to be said tonight, and with very good reason. Radiolab's co-host and founder, Jad Abumrad.
Hello, hello.
Okay. You spent 18 months eating, so a few minutes listening. Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome back from your great meal. And welcome to those of you who are tuning in from home. I hope you all at home, I don't know, like have a good drink in your hand and like an elastic waistband and maybe some slippers. Or maybe you're sort of parallel playing with us and you have sequins on and some high heels because they're so comfortable. I'll just speak for myself, but during the pandemic, I was like, I'm never wearing high heels again. For those of you at home, my heels are very high and my feet hurt. But I'm so happy to be here in my high heels. Thank you. Wow. That was a good heckle. So now, look, I know that tonight isn't about me. I do, I'm very aware of that. I'm merely here to host this fabulous evening, but it is interesting to note that some of my most enduring roles were a nurse in an ER. Thank you. A lawyer up to her neck in political corruption. I also got to lead a brilliant show called The Hot Zone, where I played a scientist working on the Ebola epidemic. And right now, you can see me on screen in the morning show where I play none other than a broadcast journalist. So all of that is to say that I do feel like my entire career so far has been leading me up to this role as the host of tonight's incredible gala. Yeah. Because at a moment in history when nursing, epidemiology, government accountability, and hardcore journalism have never been more in vogue. I actually truly can't imagine a greater honor than being here tonight. I mean, New York Public Radio, I don't know about you, but it saved me during some very dark times when I was alone in my kitchen, cooking yet another meal, thinking, what is happening to the world? And I would just turn on the radio, and there they would be, my best friends, telling me how it really was, without anything but the truth. Yeah, hear, hear. So, as someone who has also been a longtime supporter myself, it really is a pleasure to be here with so many others who really, truly understand the value of New York Public Radio. And I say that really with tremendous, tremendous gratefulness in my heart that you're all here. I can't imagine actually this city existing without New York Public Radio. I can't imagine my life without it, and I bet many of you can't either. I am constantly amazed by the way Brian Lair can talk to so many different kinds of people. Yeah, give him a shout out, that's good. But he does, he manages somehow to talk to them with the same calm and compassion and integrity. I was also pretty amazed to find out that in a former life, Brian was a flautist. Yeah. And get this, so when we were all banging on pots and pans for the city's essential workers last year, Brian stuck his head, arms, and half his torso outside of his window and played his flute for the entire upper Manhattan to hear, which, I mean, that's just beautiful. I actually played the flute too, not well, not like Brian, and I would never put half my body out the window for it. I'm just not that good. But I mean, that's something really special. You know, that's called a collective, yay, essential workers, which we all need to constantly keep cheering on because the work isn't stopping. So hold them in your heart. I digress, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to the script. But I do. I wake up with Michael Hill. I check Gothamist nonstop. I listen to all of it with Allison Stewart. By the way, I was a big fan of hers way before she brought me on her show. Her and her child Isaac and my son used to play together, so I've known her for a very long time. Sean, Kai, Nancy, Jamie, Carrie, Lance, David. I feel like they're my best friends. Or honestly, maybe just, you know, like they're my really smart roommates that I never get to see because they're really busy. But they're really important people because that's where I get my updates all the time. And while I personally do love classical music, I really do. My husband, and this is true, is a diehard, and he's actually vaguely encyclopedic because he can, we'll be listening to WQXR, and half the time, before Jeff or Elliot or Annie or Terrence can even get there, he's like, Bach, Schumann, nope, other Schumann. But it's like a game for him whenever we have it on in the car because he has to know what it is before it's told on the radio. And he's most excited when he's stumped, which is always fun for me to watch because there's always new things happening in music. And for people who are diehard classical music fans, that's like a high. I don't know if you'll understand that, but to watch him, it's like he gets very excited. And it's like he's listening to music for the first time. And that can only happen on New York Public Radio. So I think you get the picture. I'm sorry, I went off. But I do. I listen when I'm walking, and I literally plan my families. When we drive upstate on weekends, we have to time it for, wait, don't tell me. Because we all love to play it. I just love that show so much. Okay, so I do. I listen when I'm feeling hopeful, and I really listen when I'm not, or when I'm losing it a bit. I think we all do. Or when I feel like the world is ending, which I think a lot of us felt like last year. It's, you know, to be honest, sometimes last year it was a little more often than we wanted, but they were our friends, our best friends, and they were telling us like it was, and that was really something to behold. So the fact that everyone is here tonight, and all of you at home in your stretch pants and your popcorn, we're really glad you're all here, truly. Okay. So this, of course, brings me back to myself. Let me just tell you why I love it even more. Not that actors are narcissistic or anything. But I do. I learn the facts, which we all do, and I see into the lives of others, and I remember, which I think is actually the most important part of New York Public Radio. I remember that we're all human, and at the end of the day, truly, we are all in this together. And that's what these people do. They make us better, smarter, and more understanding. They create a ripple effect of compassion that brings us all together. So it really is an honor to be here tonight, celebrating Radiolab everyone at New York Public Radio, and ultimately all of you who make their work possible. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the chair of the Board of Trustees. You make him sound so sexy. I don't know if he was prepared for that. Tim Wilkins. But before I bring him on, let me tell you a little bit about Tim. So Tim is an acclaimed attorney who's been guiding social justice, cultural, and sustainability initiatives for more than 2 decades across the city and around the world. He's the global partner of client sustainability at the international law firm Freshfields, Bruckhaus, Derringer, LLP, and from what I've been told, an almost abnormally kind and wonderful person.
Jesus. That was amazing. Truly amazing. One more round of applause for Kishi Bashi. Okay, so before you head out, one final thought from me. I'm your host, so I get to have that thought. But a while back, I learned something new. Some of you may know it, some of you may not, but it's a public radio phrase that I'd never heard before, and it's one that actually really resonated with me. It's called the driveway moment. You heard of that? I mean, for real New Yorkers who walk and listen to New York Public Radio on their phones, it's called a before you walk into the building moment, but we'll just call it a driveway moment for now. It's the moment when you just got home and you really need to get inside, but you can't bring yourself to get out of the car or off the sidewalk, depending on where you live, because the story on air is just that good. Yeah. It's something I experience over and over again thanks to the work of the people we're here to celebrate tonight. So for the folks with me at the plaza here, if you're not quite ready to get out of the car, please feel free to sit back and hang out and soak up what a great night it's been. It's been an awesome night. And for those of you tuning in at home, good news, you're already at home. So we've got one more gorgeous drive-away moment for you and a very special performance by members of the WQXR Artist Propulsion Lab with special guests Sterling Elliott and Anthony McGill. It was recorded as a prelude to this evening's program with remarks by Jad Abumrad and WQXR's Chief Content Officer, Ed Yim, who is responsible for me being here tonight. Long story, I can tell you after. No, okay, you're sick of me already. Okay, that's it for me. But really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining tonight and powering the work of New York Public Radio. It is so important, and I can't express how grateful I am personally, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, for your support. Good night.